Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another cast by HD Phoenix. I'm joined by Benji Starcraft, and this is the last game in the grand finals of the Dogsi Monthly 6. We do have aLtAaron here. He has won 2 matches here at the 2 o'clock position on Xel'Naga Caverns, and we are going to have NEORedArchon. He has also won 2 matches here, and this is going to be such an explosive match. I mean, it's been so close. The last 3 games have been massive macro battles. And I mean, the engagements were just really tight. It's just tiny mistakes being made by both players and just costing the game. Both of these players are very highly ranked. And I mean, what do you hope to see, Benji, this game?
Well, I mean, we've had 2 Xel'Naga games already. Obviously, these guys just love the map that much. And both of them have been like 20+ minute macro games. So I'm kind of hoping it's another one. But you never know. I mean, in a best of 5, the last game, you kind of like, I need to win this game. You might just pull out a 4-gate or a 3-racks or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, both of these players, they have basically played 3 macro games in a row. I would not be surprised to see either of them try to go for something aggressive, you know, just to catch the opponent off guard. But then again, when you're playing very high-level players, look at that, NEORedArchon is basically checking the top part of his base just to make sure there's not going to be any kind of cheese. I mean, both these players are very careful, so we might actually come across once again, another macro game.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's going to be hard to see what the build's going to be like early on. We kind of have to look out for early Chrono Boost or maybe second racks or something like that. But I just want to point out as well, so far we've had Aaron win, then NEORedArchon, then Aaron, then NEORedArchon. So, I don't know. I'm just going to say maybe Aaron might win the last game if the game's systems like that works out fine. But hey, we have to wait and see, won't we?
But the thing is going through NEORedArchon's mind right now, he's like, okay, every single macro game I played, basically, I've not seen a single air unit out by Aaron. No Phoenix, no Void Ray, no Carrier, of course no Mothership. It's all been ground units with a Splash Colossus and then later on going into tech, into High Templars. Why not get Ghosts? The 2 games that I got Ghosts, I won. Because basically those EMPs were so critical, and NEORedArchon basically with his multitasking was able to land beautiful EMPs, just absolutely gorgeous to watch EMPs, and basically strip the Protoss army of all its energy, of all its shields, and then after that it was just easy pickings really. So I would not,
the only thing you need to worry about though, the only thing you worry about if you do go that quick Ghost is like 1 base Colossus. That will just roll you pretty much. Because Ghost versus Colossus, I don't know if you've tried it out and like a unit test it, but I think the Colossus wins that one.
Oh, but we're actually going to see something very different. Where it's reminiscent of the very first game. It's going to be extremely early double gas here by NEORedArchon. He must not get this scouted, and I don't know. I think he should be just going for bio just like he's normally done, and then get out the Ghost. It seems to be working. It seems to counter pretty much what Aaron is going for, and I know, but he's gonna make it different. And this probe is in the base. He's going to see the double gas, and he's going to be like scratching his head. Okay, NEORedArchon's going something different this game. Yeah,
although did you also see the double racks? So that's actually quite odd. Because if you see double gas, like me personally, I'd be like, you know, probably going to go 1-1-1. Probably going to try and get Banshees out or Blue Flame Hellions or some sort of tech build. But instead, it's these 2 racks. I mean, that's quite odd. Actually, probably looking to get a factory as well. So I've actually seen this build before, so I'm going to watch it quite intently and see what comes out of this.
Actually, once again, I really like this Reaper. As I cannot stress it enough. You're spending 50 gas to get basically 300 minerals early, and if you're going for any kind of early bio play, minerals are really important early game, especially if you want to get that factory. But I mean, both these players are playing pretty safe. The Reaper is inside the base right now, actually able to snipe one of the probes and getting a second probe off gas. And I mean, this Reaper has more than paid for itself. He does see the 3-gate, so he's like, okay, he's going for a 3-gate expand once again. No big issue. And
True.
Yeah.
I was going to say as well, though, you can actually scout that much of the base. He hasn't seen the pile at the front, so I mean, yeah, he saw 3 racks, but there could be a 4th gate there. Obviously isn't, but I don't know, maybe he's thinking about that.
But I mean, NEORedArchon is just being super safe. He's checking the backgrounds here. He did kill off a probe there, thinking of dropping a proxy pylon. But both these players are playing very safe. And look at that, a 1-1-1. But curiously, he's not committing to a lot of. I mean, he's getting the reactor right away. So this signals to me that NEORedArchon is going to go for a very early drop. He's just going to get enough infantry just to fill this bunker. Then the rest of it's going to go into 2 medvacs and try to do some damage.
Very odd, actually. Obviously does have that double racks down as well, getting stim quite quickly, so I imagine it'll just be a bio drop. What kind of damage will it do? I'm not sure. I think Aaron expanding is going to weaken his chances of holding this like very hard, I guess. He does have a lot of sentries, which are pretty much useless against that early buyer play unless you can get good force fields off. So I don't know. This could be a quick game if that drop does happen. Well, if it does happen to start with, there are 2 medevacs coming out as well, so it looks like it will. But if you can drop in a good spot, I mean, those sentries are going to be useless.
The thing is what he wants to do is he did use that. He did use the SCV, he did see the expansion right now. If he could drop actually right outside where this first pylon is and basically camp the ramp, it's going to force the Protoss to funnel into that tiny ramp. You're going to get this nice concave off with your Terran forces, and actually it's going to be pretty ironic because, you know, you as a defender eventually became the one that's locked out of your own base, and if you try to come up that ramp, you can't, because you're just going to get run into this wall of Terran units, and actually the Terran could wreak havoc. You just pull a couple of Marines here to disturb the middle line, and then your Marauders just stay by the ramp and pick it off. And yeah, we're just going to see how effective this drop is going to be.
True. Just keep in mind, the longer this takes, though, the further behind NEORedArchon goes, because Aaron's natural is up. He is earning from that base, and RedArchon really only just looking to start his command center now, so this drop's going to need to do some sort of damage to get him back in this game. If it gets killed off early and doesn't do damage, he's going to be so far behind, but he is actually loading them up in the transports, moving off to the right of the map, and going to drop into this main. What kind of damage he's going to do, I have no idea at all.
I mean, right now he is dropping into the main. The probes are fleeing in terror, actually only able to kill 2 probes, and right now he's done guaranteed damage. He's actually able to kill one zealot. He should run his medvacs away. These units are just going to be sacrificed. It's going to cost Aaron a lot of oh, he's actually going to try to load up his units into the medvacs. He actually could be really bad because the medvacs move very. Wow, he does lose 1 medvac. He's actually going to be able to get away with the second medvac, but yeah, I'm just saying the most expensive unit in your composition is the medvacs. They cost a lot of your early gas, which is why RedArchon went for very early double gas. But he should have just left that army there, killed off as much Protoss units as he could. But I mean, dying in a dropship, that's just painful to see.
That's going to put him so far behind. Aaron has pretty much got 2 saturated bases now. He's up on supply. He is earning obviously more gas as well, which is very key as you get that tech up. Only killed 2 probes in the Zealot with that as well, and lost his dropship. But he is actually unloading the stuff, stimming and running into the natural here, looking to take out some probes. He's going to get a few, but he's going to escape as well.
Oh my god.
Wow. whatever damage he did was negated in losing that dropship, in my opinion. I think I think he's going to be quite a bit far behind. He's going to do something to get back in this game now.
You know what? You know what's screaming in my head, because I casted basically the clan war between NGen and Storm from Taiwan, and I was watching a Terran play called NGen Wild, and NGen Wild would just suicide his Marines and Marauders. It just would not matter. They're kamikaze bombers. They just kept dropping non-stop, and I mean, Wild just didn't care. He would drop the units off, run his medvacs back, drop his units off, run his medvacs back, and then because he was able to keep his medvacs alive, he could just constantly do drops and just replace his infantry. And I mean, if you're going to do harass like that, then just sack your units and just make sure they pay for themselves. But I mean, losing an entire medvac worth of units, it's just too risky.
It's painful. I'm watching it and I'm cringing every time I've seen it so far. But yeah, anyway, Robotics Bay though is up. He's actually going to go Colossus yet again, so nothing different here. I'm quite surprised actually. I would have imagined him to at least change it up instead of doing the same build again. But hey, he must like it. And Aaron taking out the Rosslo's gold, looking to expand there, so that's always nice.
I mean, right now, actually, he has changed it up but slightly. He's actually got 1 Immortal, which is actually quite curious. But speaking of unusual, look at that. We do see a Raven. Wow, talking about units that you very rarely see in StarCraft. A Raven is actually going to come out there. And yeah, very strange. He's going to just get 1 Raven out. He's going to swap his starport with the reactor so he can get more medvacs out. But actually 2 Ravens out. So yeah, point defense drone maybe.
It's going to have to be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see Seeker Missile being used, but Seeker Missile could actually be very effective given how tightly bunched up the Protoss army is. But yeah, I mean, swapping the tech lab off the starport, not going to see any Seekers.
See, I mean, Seeker as well really only does damage to light units. Well, I mean, anything with a lot of health doesn't really do too much to. You can just micro away from it. It is quite slow. And, I mean, with that point defense train, there is a Colossus out, and that is unaffected by it. So if he's relying on that for defense, he's going to get a rude shock when this walks in and goes, yeah, I'm just going to kill you.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually going to be a very, very effective push because right now there's no ghost. There's going to be 6 sentries. They're going to get a very, very, very nice conky hour. Point defense drone does go down, so it's going to be able to negate a lot of the shots. The stalkers are falling very quickly, but a very, very nice force field there. And the Colossus is just doing work. The Colossus has not been even scratched one bit, and right now behind a giant wall of stalkers, he absolutely can't do anything. The point defense drones is completely out of energy. Vikings coming out, SCVs being pulled off the line. Force fields once again, and right now the Colossus is just tearing these SCVs apart, being focus fired, and what a great, and right now, what a great retreat here by Aaron, but he's done so much damage to the Terran right now.
He's lost a lot of his army though. That's one thing I'm worried about. Like, he killed a lot of SCVs, and he did pin that army back for a bit, but he didn't kill much of Red Archon's army. He has a lot of units out. Supply-wise, they're even, but Aaron's ahead in workers, so that means he's behind in army. So he's got to be careful here. He's got to play a little bit defensive for a bit. He's actually looking to take up his gold now, but yeah, he's actually getting more Colossus down here, so I think he will be okay. I think Aaron is in a slight lead here.
Yeah, once again, also, he was actually able to save quite a few of his sentries, only losing 2 sentries in that engage, but the force fields were just absolutely key in being able to basically make a strategic retreat, because those bio was stimmed, they were angry, and I think because, as you said, there was so much bio left, the army is absolutely massive for NEORedArchon right now. 21 Marauders and 22 Marines. It could have very, very easily just stimmed and just crushed that Protoss army.
True, true. Also, the third down for NEORedArchon was actually a lot faster than Aaron's. Aaron killed the rocks, and I thought if he expanded then, it would have been about equal to NEORedArchon, since NEORedArchon was already building his command center. But only now just sort of building that nexus. So NEORedArchon, for a little bit of a moment here, is going to have a nice income advantage as far as bases go. His suppliers, workers are actually even, but Aaron's taking the gold though, and that will catch him up very quickly if he just transfers a bunch of workers there.
Yeah, the thing is Aaron is just going for his pretty much patented. I mean, if I had to call a build, this was basically Aaron's build. Colossus with a lot of stalkers and sentries with high Templars, and basically just use force fields and storm to maximum effect. And the longer and longer this goes, I don't see how the Terran can really counter that. But look at that, we are going to see trying to have a partial snipe over here, but this bio army actually losing 2 Marauders for his efforts. But ever since they buff Nexuses and Hatcheries and Command Centers to have 2,000 health instead of 1,005, sniping this very, very critical building is quite a bit harder. Especially when you
Especially hard because the army's right next to it going, oh, you're on my team, I'm getting you.
Yeah, I was like, pretty much, I don't think so.
Yeah, pretty much. The Templar tech is actually, like, Storm's done, so looking to do that exact same swap, which is nice, but predictable, I guess. Could almost go Blind Ghost against him, to be honest with you, but he has such a nice lead right now. His gold is up, just pushing down, playing the positional game around the towers like we have seen this map so many times before.
Yeah, it's going to come down to this one battle. Both of them know that this next battle is going to be the last. It's going to come down to positioning. And actually, Aaron might want to fight here. It's very, very nice and open. It's going to be actually right there. Here comes the storms. Massive amounts of storms. And the storms are absolutely chewing this army apart. And right now, the Vikings are being able to focus one of the Colossus down. But look at this bio army flee in absolute terror. And look, oh, actually, these Vikings are out of position. Actually losing 1, 2. Maybe we're going to lose almost a third Viking. And wow, okay, I don't think that was a fair trade at all. Yeah, NEORedArchon has lost 7,400 resources worth of units, while the Protoss has only lost 5,000. And I mean, Kaidarian Amulet is almost done. There are more Templars coming out, and I mean, Aaron's just being super smart about it. He's like, okay, I get Colossus and Stalkers. Now I'm just gonna get mass charge slots and Templars.
That's the thing. Templars have such heavy front load damage. Like the first 5-10 seconds of the fight with the Templars, you're doing so much more damage, and then you kind of stop because you're running out of energy. So once he lost his storms, he pulled back and then got more Templars. So he's playing very, very smart.
Yeah, I think one very, very well placed ghost is going to make this entire play an absolute nightmare. But NEORedArchon is going to try. Oh, this is going to be critical. He's loaded dropships away, and half his army is away right now. But these charge lots are just tearing this army apart, and the charge lots need to get in front. And the army is going for a crushing win. These dropships are going to try to do as much damage as they can, swinging in the back. But right now, I don't think there's going to be enough at the back. There's actually Archons able to do that. Oh, the storms, the bio army is because they're so small. is going to be able to cluster up really tightly. That's the strong point of the Terran, because they have small amounts of units, but the Storm is absolutely so critical, and I think this drop is negated because looking at Aaron's production facilities, we have like, wow, we have 10 gateways, and he's like, okay, I just make 10 stalkers instantly and just deny this drop. Wow.
Pretty much. RedArchon is lifting up and moving them away, losing one of the dropships as he pulls back, actually gets one away and looking to do some damage, but this army of Aaron's is getting pretty damn big. Templar, and still has Colossus alive as well. RedArchon's going to need a miracle to come back here, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the thing is he's lost the gold position. He's going to lose his base very easily. The army is completely out of position. He's not going to even try to defend that. He's actually making another base, trying to get back his gold, and actually going to long distance mine. But the thing is right now he's in such a firm position. This army is actually going to make a counterattack, but it's going to run smack into the Protoss. And wow, I just don't see how Aaron can lose this match because he has so many Templars.
RedArchon needs to snipe some bases, he needs to do some drops, he needs to kill off that 4th and that 3rd right now pretty much to get back in this game, but there is an engagement here at this tower, there are Storms, there are Colossus, that is just not fair for the Terran player.
Whoa, and finally the Templars are actually able to catch up. They're all stuck in the back, and right now there are Ghosts, actually feedback on the Ghost, almost killing one of the Ghosts. Feedback once again on the Ghost. The Ghost couldn't get a single EMP off, and wow, look at that. I mean, this army is just absolutely melting to this Colossus.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And he's actually morphing Archons as well. Archons have so much damage, so much splash damage, so much health. They're great tanks in front of the army, and I think there's going to be GG very soon here.
Yeah, I just absolutely no way Archon is going to be a come back from this. And looking at that, Cloak is actually almost done by the Ghost Academy, so he was actually probably thinking of going for some nukes. As you say, he does need to do some economic damage, but I mean, Aaron is not going to have any of that. I'm not going to push the game out, and Archon does GG. And we do have our winner for Dogsi's number 6. It's going to be Alternative Aaron. What? Oh my god, epic finals.
That was just awesome. Like, I mean, we started off with the 4 gate, and I was like, oh, okay, I hope the whole series isn't like this. But then we had 4 awesome macro games. They were kind of one-sided from early game pressure, but the series itself, 3-2, you cannot ask for a better finals.
Yeah, the thing is as you said, I think the only thing I would fault RedArchon's macro has been absolutely genius all these games. It's just he won 2 games with Ghost because basically Aaron Ghost is very energy heavy build, and Ghost just completely locked that down. I mean he tried to be creative in the last game, trying to go for early drop play, but I felt if he just got those Ghosts earlier, he could have had a much better chance.
That's it. It came down a lot to early game stuff. If they both played any of those games differently, it could have turned out different, but that's how it did happen. In that last game, though, they both made such great decisions. They weren't like, oh my god, I have a small lead, I'll sacrifice. And they're like, I'm going to get on more bases. And in this game now, I mean, Aaron's on 4 bases at the end, just playing so solidly, so smartly, making correct decisions, and just winning so safely.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, really safe play by both these players. But fantastic. Why don't you sign us off, Benji?
Awesome. So this is our Engine Benji, or Benji. I'm casting this with HD Phoenix here. This was Dogsi's tournament. Aaron has won this, best of 5, so thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll catch you next time.
Awesome.
Thanks.